what you can do about the opportunity gap. Welcome. At Head Start and Early Head Start, parents and families are part of their children's education both in and out of the classroom. Research shows that children whose parents are involved in their education do better in school and throughout life. Getting involved at the preschool level will prepare you to be active once your child enters elementary, middle, and high school. Your child learns from you, and your school needs you. Head Start and Early Head Start welcomes you at the school. Discover how to make your home into a learning space. Your child will keep learning at home, building on what he or she is exploring in the classroom. Your child's teacher and your family advocate can help you explore ways to help close the opportunity gap through simple, low-cost activities, reading resources, and parenting support. What is the opportunity gap? The opportunity gap is a gap that exists in the development and academic achievement in children from low-income families versus families with a higher income. Many factors other than income contribute to the lack of access to opportunities, such as cultural and language differences, living in rural communities, limited resources, transportation, and more, and lack of knowledge of available resources and community events. This gap has nothing to do with how smart children are, and it does not mean that children from low-income families can't succeed in school. The good news, every child can learn and succeed at the highest level. So let's talk about how we can close this gap. What differences exist? The gap can occur at any income level, but is more present in lower income families. There are significant differences in developmental levels and academic scores in these areas: counting and pre-math skills, writing, letter recognition, early reading skills, and problem solving. This gap does not have to exist. It comes from different exposures and experiences that young children have before kindergarten. That means we can close the gap. You can close the gap. Here are 6 things you can do to close the gap and help your child be successful in school and throughout life. Establish family routines. Bring your child to school on time and every day. Read with your child daily. Participate in a variety of parent-child activities. Practice positive parenting, and spend time in your child's Head Start, Early Head Start classroom. We understand that this year will look a little different, so bringing your child to school every day and on time may look a little different this year. Participate as best you can in the program. Spending time in your child's classroom will also look different this year. Unfortunately, we will not be able to have parent volunteers. We are hoping to be able to get back to that soon, but for now, your participation will be in communicating with your teacher and your family advocate and doing what you can to support your kiddos' learning at home. Establish family routines. Why are family routines important? Routines help children feel safe. Young children crave routine. Routines help children learn consistent schedules that aid in school success. Routines can strengthen family relationships. Routine tips. Eat meals together as often as possible. Be realistic when creating schedules. Put your child to bed at the same time every night and wake up at the same time every morning. Keep routines calm, fun, and flexible. Bring your child to school every day and on time. You have already taken a huge first step in closing the opportunity gap for your child by enrolling them in the Head Start, Early Head Start program. For your child to get the full benefits of his or her scholarship in our program, it is important to bring them to school on time and every day. Being on time helps reduce classroom disruptions and creates a positive start to the day. Studies show that children who attend school 90% of the time have higher rates of educational success. Here are some other benefits to regular attendance. Creates positive habits for future school experiences, learning opportunities for developmental skill building, provides social experiences, and ensures development of early reading skills. Read with your child. Reading with your child can develop a connection to learning that will last throughout his or her lifetime. It also provides quiet and quality time to connect and build strong relationships with your child. The more time children are exposed to reading, the bigger their vocabulary becomes. When children are reading or listening to stories, they are developing thinking skills and problem-solving skills. Reading improves language, which improves writing skills. Listening to stories builds memory skills. Reading develops knowledge. Children learn the most during their first 6 years. Did you know that reading to your unborn child also contributes to their development? Read 20 minutes a day. Student who reads 20 minutes at home versus a student that reads 5 minutes a day versus a student that reads 1 minute a day. So a student who reads for 20 minutes a day will have heard over 1,800,000 words per year. They will have read for 851 hours by the 6th grade, and on standardized tests will have likely scored better than 90% of their peers. Do activities together. Spending time with your child does not need to take a lot of time or money. Here are some examples of activities you can do with your child and the areas of development they support. Read and talk to your child a lot. Rich and diverse experiences expand children's understanding of the world around them. Talking to children as they experience the world teaches children vocabulary and shows them how to share thoughts and ideas. Language. Ask your child questions. Give them time to answer. Repeat their answers back to them. Use reading as a way to encourage conversation about what they see, what they think, and what they like. Literacy. Draw pictures and ask them about it. Write down what they say. This is another way to show that written words have meaning. Social emotional. Talk about feelings. Using mirrors, make faces for each feeling and talk about what they are. This teaches children to feelings and the feelings of others. Positive parenting. Practicing positive parenting can strengthen the parent-child bond, help children to better understand rules, and can reduce stress. Here are some tips. Notice and praise your child's positive behavior. Distract from behaviors that you don't like. Clearly tell your child what you do want. Ask about your child's needs and feelings. Make sure your child is well rested. Structure your home and environment with routine. Be consistent with your family rules and values. Teach your child new and fun things. Play and connect on your child's level. Set limits for safety and behavior. It's okay to excuse yourself for a time in. Attend a free parenting series at your Head Start Early Head Start Center or through the Family Connection. How we can help close the opportunity gap. Head Start and Early Head Start will tell you about events and activities in the community, provide a parenting education series each year, send home easy learning tips to help you have fun with your kids, celebrate the time you spend talking to and playing with your child, work with teachers to help support learning goals for your child.
Today, we are going to be talking about the opportunity gap with you. We have a guest speaker that we got to come in and talk with us, and her name is Rachel Jack, and she is a head teacher currently at Head Start. Rachel started as a parent in our program. She's had 4 children come through Head Start, and she liked it, so she became a TA. And then she moved up to be a teacher, and now she is a head teacher. She is here to talk to us about the opportunity and with gap. COVID now, we are seeing that people and families that thought they weren't part of the opportunity gap are kind of now in the opportunity gap, seeing those spaces, because we're all in different parts of our life. Some of us are shut in at home with the kids 24/7. Some are trying to work and be home. And so we're all on these different paths now. And so we just kind of want to share about the opportunity gap and ways to close them for our littles that we have, because this is kind of a different year.
So, Rachel, what type of activities would you do at home with your kiddos to help close the opportunity gap?
When COVID hit, a lot of things changed. We were a pretty active family, had lots of different activities that we would go and do. And so with COVID, we've really came back to what's really important. And I think a lot of what we've learned is what we can do in our own home, creating a safe environment in our home that learning can take place, and still introducing music, introducing art, ways to be able to do some of those things at home. So if you have internet access, there's lots of great resources on the internet for virtual field trips. You can go to the Portland Zoo online. You can go explore different places. For those of you who might not have the internet as a resource, we have used a lot of books to be able to travel, right? So we didn't get to travel a lot this year, but we were able to get some nonfiction books about different places. My daughter is really into koalas, so we researched, where do koalas live? And you can find books, nonfiction books are a great way. You can get them at the local library. I do believe the libraries are open now for some checkout and some services. And so being able to go check out a book that's nonfiction and explore a new place and travel a new place and draw about a new place and talk about a new place. And so really we've taken a lot of those activities and we've just brought them home. Okay, so I can't go play soccer with my friends, but I can go kick a ball around in my yard and play soccer together as a family, because we are fortunate enough that we do have a little bit of a yard. And maybe the goalpost is the fence, and that's okay, you know, or maybe we play soccer with a balloon inside of our house. And so we've been really figuring out and trying to get creative. What resources do I already have that can provide these meaningful memories for my children to help them grow and learn? And so really post-COVID has been, you know, and during COVID, it's really been about, what do I have and how can I use what I already have to help grow their love for learning?
What advice would you give parents that feel that they really don't have the time to spend doing a bunch of different activities? They're busy parents, working full-time jobs, have a bunch of kids at home, all doing their separate things. What advice would you give them?
So here's what I've learned, and the advice that I would give would be, don't give yourself any extra work. Don't make it any extra work. Have your kids help you, because then you're going to reduce the work. So if you are at home and you are cooking dinner, include your children in cooking dinner. Teach them about a recipe. Teach them the math that goes into it. Help them. Let them help stir. Teach them those home economic things that sometimes we just don't have enough time to do. And I would encourage you, teach them how to load the dishwasher. Have them sort the spoons, the knives, the forks. That's classifying. That's a math skill. And so you are bringing them into things you already have to do. Folding laundry is one of my least favorite things to do. And let me tell you, you can help close the opportunity gap by teaching your children how to fold laundry, okay? They can sort by colors. They can sort by, okay, this is a towel and it's big, and this is a washcloth and it's little, and they're going to fold them and learn how to fold them and learn how to put them away. Or maybe you do all your laundry together, and you know, brother is like, okay, this is my sock, this is sister's sock, this is mom's sock, you know, and helping them sort out. So my biggest advice would be, you don't have to plan extra time into the activities. It's just include them. Okay, we're going to wash the car. Okay, so when we're washing the car, we're talking about science. How does soap happen? How do we pour in the soap and add the water and bubbles come up? And how do we wash it, right? Or maybe you're going on a walk with your family and you're talking about what you see around you in the environment. What's changed? What's the different? What's going on with the trees? I would say to stop putting pressure on yourself. remember that you're doing a great job and just include your kids having conversations while you're doing it. So you're building those meaningful connections. So just include them in what you're doing, and that is going to make a world of difference.
So what do you feel is the most important thing a parent can do to help close the opportunity gap?
I think the most important thing a parent can do to help close that opportunity gap is to really be an advocate for their child, right? So we have our wonderful family advocates here, and you guys do such a great job helping equip parents, but helping the parents know that they're the advocate for their child. They really know their child the best. In Head Start, we say that a parent is always their first and forever teacher, okay? And so you know your child. You know what they need to be able to grow, to be able to flourish. You know what their interests are, okay? And so being able to have those communications and to really know your child and to advocate for them, I think is the best way to be able to help close the opportunity gap. Man, if your daughter really loves art, you can make sure that when they grow up, that they get those experiences to play and paint, to play in chalk, to explore maybe an art gallery at some point, or to go in Grants Pass when they do that chalk art. Take your child, know what is out in the community, and advocate for your child to participate in the activities that are going to be most meaningful. So always remember that you know them best and that you can help pick those opportunities and prioritize those opportunities that are going to help them grow and learn and develop. And if you do have a little bit of extra time, always read to your child. Okay. If that reading, that connection, I find that books, and we have the library access, books are a great way to help close that opportunity gap, because you might not be able to travel across the world, like I said, but you can in a book. And so growing a child that loves reading, and I know that's hard because sometimes it's not always an adult's favorite task. I myself prefer children's books much more than I do as an adult reading an adult novel, but helping instill in them that routine of reading is really going to help. So advocate for your child, throw in some reading, and just remember that you've got this. You're doing a great job. And I think that is all you really need to help close that opportunity gap.
Thank you so much, Rachel, for joining us today and sharing your amazing ideas about and your experiences of how you've closed the opportunity gap over the years, what you've done since COVID started. I think it'll really give parents ideas on different activities they can do with their kids. And those activities don't need to be challenging or hard. You don't have to go out of your way to come up with stuff to do. It's just little everyday activities that can help close that gap.
Yeah. And we gotta give you guys the credit, because just enrolling your child in Head Start, you're already closing that gap. You're already taking the steps to close it.
Shout out to any parent that is seeing this. Keep it up. You are a rock star, and your child will benefit from the love that you are giving.